Hey everybody, how you doing? Amp Repair Guy. It's 203-892-4119. Here we have another Heathkit sb220. I work on so many of these. I love these amps. I have about 6 other amps I need to get to. Just can't get them done fast enough. They just keep showing up, but I love doing this kind of work, so keep on sending them. So this one had hardbox kits. It had the metering board, had the filter cap board, and the soft key. So it had the RL measures stuff. I ended up yanking all that stuff out. Customer said he can only get like about, before he brought it to the guy to get the work done, he got full output, and then after he could only get about 400 watts or so, 400 peak or so. So pulled all that out, rewound a couple new parasitic suppressors, put in the proper strap, everything I usually do, new plate blocking cap. The air variable on the plate side had a lot of arc damage. So these are becoming really hard to find. So what I did was I ended up taking another one apart, and I reused the frame and I rebuilt this one. I had to replace almost every plate. Problem is, it's not just about changing the plates. You have to go and you have to make sure the center ones are perfectly centered or close to it between the ones at ground potential. So I went ahead and did that, and then I high potted it and brought it up to 4,000 volts DC. So I knew it was good to stick in here. I also cleaned the contact in the back. There's like a wiper thing. One in the back, one in the front, and the shaft. I used deoxit gold. Cleaned the rotary switches. Glitch resistor. I like putting it here. Some people put it here. I like to keep that choke. I don't like the resistor in the RF compartment, allowing RF to back up in here. I know you have the cap there, but not only that, but you have all this heat. The fan's pushing the heat this way, so you're heating that resistor up, which is also getting hot when you put a load on it. How hot it gets depends on the value. So I like putting it right there. I've never heard of one failing unless someone took the cover off and they put a short on the plate supply with the amplifier on. I've seen these disabled. I always re-enable those. So I did the other modifications. So I grounded the grids properly. I got rid of the other stuff underneath, the resistors near the filament, and put in the proper 0.01 cap, and clean the TR relay. So I want to talk about something here. It's really important to do the bias modification, because if you end up with a filament to grid short, you'll end up taking out the filament transformer. I see a lot of people that fix these and they don't do the simple things. It's a major pain in the butt to change that transformer. The transformer's over, I think it's around 250 bucks or so. A replacement from the company that bought the Peter Dahl name, Hammond. So not only do you have the cost of the transformer, the whole front panel has to come off. You have to disconnect the wiring underneath. It's not an easy task. Well, it just takes time, I should say that. So everything else looks good in here. Once again, I have the Penta Lab tubes in here. Working awesome. And change the meter lamps. Put a dab of, so I always bend these tabs, like I said, outwards, and I put a little thin layer of silicone on the surface, so less likely for these to pop back off at some point. Now you have the high voltage right here, the plate supply, and I zip tied everything nice. Actually, a lot of zip tie over here and right there too. I like everything to be nice and pretty. And I need to get new cover screws. I'll go down to the hardware store for that. But besides that, another one done. Next amp is another Heathkit sb220. Guy has a lot of stuff he wants done to that thing, so that'll take a bit. And then a FL2100B, and then the list goes on. So, well, thanks for watching, and have a great day. AmpRepairGuy.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. Lots more videos to come. Take care.